Good afternoon and welcome to Anarchy Talk with Jimbozo. Anarchy is inevitable and anarchy is good. Just don't pay your taxes. But Jim, I have to pay my taxes. I don't want to be audited. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's how you win a tax audit lottery. We all want to be audited. We all want to be audited. And if we all want to be audited, no one gets audited. See how that works? Skype in if you could. I will have that ready to go. Prepare in about, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to set up Skype. And I am Anarchy.Forever1, and we really need your Skype. We need some dialogue. So I can do 3-hour shows instead of 1-hour shows. Otherwise, if it's not interactive, it's not as good. We all know that. Rush Limbaugh, Mr. Rough himself, he does a monologue for an hour at a time, sometimes 3 hours at a time, but I do it for an hour at a time with some good music. No advertising, but I want your responses. I want your questions. I want your feedback. Most dangerous SOB that ever lived. That's me. Anarchy is inevitable. Why? It happened if I never existed. Slowly but surely, governments around the world are collapsing. We can make it happen overnight. If you're lucky enough to be hearing right now, one of the very few of the 10 to 15 listeners I get a day, you're one step ahead of the competition is whatever it is, 7 billion people on this planet, and the visits are going up to 300, 400, 500 visitors a day. The website, but we like to listen more than we like to read. We know that, so good to listen. So anyways, what I wanted to do, Anarchy.Forever1 is the number one if you want to Skype in. My email address is Jimbozo, Jimbozo, 1964 at yahoo.com. And, just go ahead and Skype will be ready in about 5 minutes. For those of you who are listening live, I am getting more live listeners, which is great. But please do call in if you're live. Please do call in. I'm geared to be here at least until 1, but the goal is 3 o'clock and eventually 24/7. And you can also check, if you're at my podcast page, Springer.com/AnarchyForever, or maybe it's Springer.com/users/AnarchyForever. Check that out. Most of you probably found out about it. Probably not through the website. I just changed the website because I found out the website was linking to an old account with an old email address that's now canceled, so I took care of that. So it's sort of what you should do. Add to your favorites, AnarchyForever.com, AnarchyForever.com, and go to the podcast page that way. It's easy to remember. But I know now and probably in the past, almost all of you had to find me exclusively through Springer.com, which is great. Probably through the search engine. We are doing some banner advertising there, so we're probably getting, even though click-through rate with banner ads is very low, I probably do, I think it's about 4,000 impressions a day on my banner ads. It's very incendiary, the rattlesnake with the anarchy flag in the background. A lot prettier than my ugly-ass face, which is makes me a face for radio. So God forbid if we have video, audio in addition to audio at Springer.com, but there'll be a demand for it. But we need some pretty faces to work for me, and so put money in the back pocket. Maybe I can hire you if you're a pretty face, and you can work for me, just like on Fox News. So anyways, the news is this. General news out there, nothing's going on right now, other than the anarchists are threatening to kill a cop on Halloween in New York, NYPD, and it's actually the FBI that got involved in this. They know this anarchy thing. They're scared to death because they know that as anarchists we are onto them based on Barack Obama's own words, there will be anarchy and Armageddon. According to White House Insider, according to Alex Jones, I trust Alex Jones. He verifies almost everything. Because they know they've been losing money for some time now. So anarchy is not a question of if, but when. It could literally happen overnight. The question is, how do you go viral? How do you go viral with your message? Foolish to pay taxes. You pay taxes, your competitors aren't. So right now, you are your competitor's competitor. Don't pay taxes. Stay one step ahead of people that are foolish to pay taxes, and you take away their market share, even if there are other consumers that are foolishly paying for consumption tax. The internet, you don't have to pay consumption tax, but you don't have to collect if you're a business, or especially an internet business. So just don't pay taxes. Don't collect taxes, and that way, when the government collapses, your competition foolish enough to pay taxes. You take away their market share. You do better. They wind up on the streets, and they get no social services because tax money for that is when they dry up. To exploit this thing about what's going to happen. We don't know if anything's going to happen to Halloween in New York. We don't know. It could be anywhere in the country. Their advocates threatening to kill a cop. I don't approve of that kind of thing. But when they make threats as a rule, threats always work. I know that of all the laws we have, I think Emma Goldman, most famous anarchist for me, she got popped twice for cited to riot for advocating anarchy when they actually had a law by Teddy Roosevelt, the anarchist propaganda law, because it's an immigrant anarchist that killed William McKinley. So they do stupid things in this country, so, like say you can't advocate anarchy. Emma Goldman did. She went to prison for 2 years, so it was a small price to pay. Good for her. So these a-holes can't do anything about freedom of speech, mostly because Emma Goldman didn't have the internet, and I do. So I'm a hell of a lot more dangerous than she is, and they're not going to take me to jail. We don't have. They are obviously repealed the anarchist propaganda law many years ago because of what happened to her. You reform the law when they do stupid things with the law. And again, Martin Luther King Jr., who's the only American who deserves his own holiday, like Nelson Mandela, like Mahatma Gandhi, he went to jail for something stupid involving these bogus speech crimes, and he brought down the country because of it. I'm going to wipe out authority all over the planet. Because of the thing called freedom of speech. Just say what you want. Say what you want. If the little a-holes make something about it, better yet. They fall for the charge. They might use reverse psychology, but that'll be the source of their undoing. We'll talk about sedition, coup d'etat threats in a minute. I'm not making them, but what I'm saying is that, like any other law, it's an evil double standard by which government traditionally does things, or they just look the other way. Because the smart ones know you try to punish somebody in the long run, you get punished big time for doing it. It's the thing. War is peace, ignorance is strength, slavery is freedom, and a punishment is a reward. The thing is, I've been working a lot with Facebook. If you want to go to Facebook, I know you're probably all Facebook people. And go to Facebook. I have a Facebook group. Just look up the Anarchy Party group, Facebook group on the search engine, or go to. They don't like it on Facebook. They won't let me index my middle name, Dante, D-N-T-E. I'm the only James Dante Wood on the planet as far as I know. There are too many James Wood, not James Woods as in the act, James Wood out there. So it's one of those things where just look up the Anarchy Party, James Wood, Anarchy Party group, whatever. Join the group, or just go to my website. I have a link to my Facebook page if you can't find it on Facebook. But the way you go viral, there's policy that says, if you want to make a living, spend not one penny on marketing, advertising, and sales. Otherwise, it leads to a very unhealthy gambling addiction where I like to gamble on advertiser dollars, and I learned a lot. I don't regret it, just like these guys that don't regret losing money in Vegas. It's like, who could blame them? I like, even with football gambling, I would gamble, lose money. I don't care. I like to gamble. You like to gamble. Why not? Even if you lose money, it's fun. It's fun. And you try to optimize. You try to learn how to get better at it over time. And there's a method to the madness, no doubt about it. But it's the kind of thing where, what can I say? When you waste money on advertising, I never wasted money on advertising. Nothing is a waste. It's like John Lennon said, whatever gets you through the life, it's all right, it's all right. Don't need a gun to blow your mind. Oh no, oh no. The thing is that you learn more from your mistakes than your successes. So it's the kind of thing where over time you learn about what works and what doesn't, and you slowly but surely get better with advertising marketing. With Facebook, right now what people are doing, other than obviously SEO for your website for Google, it's all about keywords. You want link reciprocity, where a lot of people link to your website. That's like 80-90% of page rank, we think. With Googlebot, it's all about Googlebot. Googlebot and free advertising is the only thing that made me money going back to about 2000, but before that, the old Yahoo in the 1990s, where people look at very targeted keywords that are in high demand, low competition. That's what it's all about. And a lot of content on the website. I add a lot of content. Like Alex Jones works very hard to build his news page. I just do various things right now to build other pages for my site, and then eventually the news page is how I will add content. And if you go to the website now, anarchyforadvertiser.com, a lot of fascinating content. Eventually I'll have an advertisers page. We don't have it now. Because I'm not branded yet, so people don't want to add me as becoming advertisers. I have some ideas on how some very high-tech software I'm going to use where if you advertise with me, it guarantees going to be a very high return investment at a much higher percentage of the time than the competition. But I don't have much of an audience right now. That's the problem. So I have to be branded. It's all about being branded. You're not branded, you lose money on advertising marketing every time. So spend not one penny on advertising. Mostly involves a lot of content of high-demand keywords, low competition on your website. I represent the futures market. I represent anarchy. Anarchy, people rarely look up the keyword, but then again, there's no competition. We lost a leader to get people to study the futures market because I'm all about the future. If you go to my website, it's all about keywords that are in demand today with no competition. So I'm trying to optimize my website. Always do a professional press release through people like PureWeb.com because it does mean permanent traffic to your website. The first good source of high page rank based on a lot of links to your website. And last time I got 1,500 visitors to a website, I was getting 10 visitors a day. Using PureWeb.com, they're great, and I just use them again. It's going to take a while before I get indexed. But all the people that read the Anarchist Manifesto, which is extremely incendiary, extremely hostile, that's a good thing. And then somehow, slowly but sure, I think it'll lead to probably a lot more than 1,500 visitors a day. Probably by Halloween, I'm hoping, or sometime in early November. And so you want to do what I want to do. Let's say I scratch your back, you scratch my butt. I was a professional student all my life. Now I'm the teacher. No such thing as bad student, bad teacher. So I try to teach you where I've had a lot of success at times, even with various ideas in business. And the world's worst economy like we have right now, well, if the economy is bad, then products that sell products and services that improve the economy, is there no more valuable commodity than what I do by wiping out taxation to around the world economy so we can all work? And who the hell wants to work for other people? Why sell for a job when you can be self-employed like you or I? And I don't know if you look at me on Spreaker, you're probably people that already have podcasts. That's one of the theories about these podcast services. Or you just like to listen to podcasts. They're all amateur podcasts, and they're all a bunch of wimps. They're all a bunch of wimps. It's the thing. And like Wally George used to say, these wimpy talk shows we had back in the 1980s, it's gotten a lot worse. I mean, the Marxist, Leninist, Nazi pussies, it's just a bunch of codependent pussies. And I mean, some that offer valuable service, like whatever, if you want to learn how to cook or whatever, okay, fine, or learn how to advertise or travel agencies, fine. I know that talk shows are mostly about politics. I mean, and everything's political. Even food is political, the family is political, football is political, everything's political. But I am anti-political. The anti-politician, the consummate anti-politician. So there's a market for that. I obsess over four things. Business, show other people how to be successful business people like I was and will be again, and you will be. Obviously, politics, mostly science, because I've been a scientist most of my career, physicist, chemist, engineer, technician, and of course religion. Mostly non-religious all my life up until about 2 years ago. Now I'm extremely religious based on the evidence. You might even say the proof. Go to my website, anarchyforever.com. I think much of my traffic I'm getting on Google has something to do with scientific and mathematical Gnosticism. It's going to blow you away. You think I'm crazy? Well, that's what it said about Einstein past your Beethoven. You tell me. You tell me. And tell everyone else. And let's see where this goes. The Book of Revelation is going to happen, if for no other reason but self-fulfilling prophecy. So let's see where this goes. The Sedition and coup d'etat threats are basically based on accusations on what I said to a bunch of people about this. It's good to go to Facebook and just add a bunch of groups that are relevant to what you do. Like I have the Libertarians for Anarchist groups. I've got 2 Bible Christian groups. The Anarchists and the Christians are about the only people where the administration will post my feed. I get likes. People they mostly like the images. Images everything in this day and age where everything's icon driven. I don't like it. I'm old school. I'm an old timer. I like keywords and keyword efficiency indexes and prominence, frequency, proximity, the kinds of things that should rank you high in Google. I understand that Google does the right thing by they basically make them wipe out the competition, make them but may still be the #1 internet company in the world, even though they're second in traffic. This whole idea of link reciprocity, where people vote for your website. So of course it's all about building up credibility based on people like you. I understand that. Facebook, it works kind of similar, but everything is graphic, movies and all that, and like YouTube videos, I get it. But like when you advertise, you have to have the combination of a graphic and some words, like what Zuckerberg has at Facebook. So the point being is that people like the image, but they're not reading. I'm having trouble getting people to read the text. That's my theory. So now I'm going to do some videos. When we wrap up this